That was my Palpatine impression. Because Palpatine has returned in The Rise of Skywalker. And welcome everyone to my spoiler review for the final anticipated 42 year in the making Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. I'm looking over there because I have the poster, as you can see up there, with Kylo Ren and Rey fighting. And you can't see it, but if you've seen that poster before, there's a faded image on there as well of Emperor Palpatine. So, yeah. So, today I went to see the new Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker. So, before I get into a spoiler review on Episode 9, on Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, just want to say this is a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie of Star Wars Episode 9, do not watch this video, because there is going to be a lot of talking points being on this video. And I have lots of points that I have written down on my notes here, on moments that happens during the film. As soon as it loads up, there we go, now it's fully loaded up. Yeah, moments that happened, and this is my take on the movie, my opinion on the movie of The Rise of Skywalker. Wait, let me move over here so that you can see the poster image right there. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah. This is my own take, my own opinion for Episode 9 of The Rise of Skywalker. Do not criticize my opinions. It's just my entitled opinion on the movie. If you want to make a movie review for yourself, go do so. Other YouTubers as well have said, talk about your own feelings as well on the movie and how you felt. And yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge movie critic. I'm just a movie watcher, watching movies and giving my thoughts about these certain movies. So yeah, okay, so that's the information and stuff out of the way. Now, the spoilers. Here we go, about to get into them. But before I do, before the movie started, this isn't a spoiler, before the movie started, when I went to see it, they showed a really cool behind the scenes video. There's a video that dates to the first thing you'll see. I don't know if it's like everywhere in cinema wise, but they show the crew of Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, old Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Han Solo, Harrison Ford, of course. And they showed them in their younger years, back in like 4, 5, and 6, in their prime years. Just to say. And then they show clips of this generation with John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, and yeah, all cast and crews, past and present. All the years in the making led to this moment of The Rise of Skywalker. And yeah, okay, so let's get into the spoiler review in 3, 2, 1, go. We'll start with John Williams's absolute creative soundtrack in this movie. Once again, John Williams is the man who is like one of the greatest musical composers in all the movie industries, especially in Star Wars. This movie soundtrack was really intense, really gripping, and it led to the right scenes of intensity of how it played out, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So props to John Williams and the rest of the crew once again. Absolutely love the soundtrack, and that was the last music he's ever composed. So John Williams, what a man, compose the last Star Wars episode soundtrack. We'll all remember him for his brilliant Star Wars composing music, and probably more to come. Okay, now, when the movie started, we see Kylo Ren. He was, I think, fighting off some like resistance, I think, from in the woods with his lightsaber and all, and then he went to the place. I forgot what it was called. I forgot the place now. What it was called. It was a planet's name that didn't. It's a new place name that. I forgot what it was called. Oh my god. Anyways, Kylo Ren went to that place where Palpatine is. And yes, he was going to see Palpatine. So he was in this room. I think it was like this underground building. And he sees forged body parts of Snoke. And then you'd hear Palpatine says, "I created Snoke." Stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, you created Snooks. That makes total sense. Right, so Snook just was just put in that seat just to be a high ruler for the First Order, but died without any more information about him. And just little vital information more about him was that Palpatine created him. I'm like, okay, so cool. Still not quite good enough, I think. But still okay. Yeah, but then Kylo Ren eventually sees Palpatine, and Palpatine just says to Kylo Ren, the girl has a strong will in the Force, or something like that. And yeah, Palpatine tells Kylo Ren to kill her, and he could become the Grand Leader of the First Order. And I don't know if he was like that big enough to rule Palpatine's chair, because we'll get to Palpatine's ending scene very much later, but that was the task. Now, oh wait, hold up. It needs charging. I don't want it to die. Don't want my notes to disappear. Okay, so after that we see Rey. Rey is like meditating, doing Jedi training, and you see all those rocks just levitate surround her in like a shape as well. And all that she was saying when she was meditating was, I think it was, come to me, come to me, come to me, come to me, I think it was. And then she just breaks out and goes, they're not coming. And then just, all the rocks dropped, and then she just went down. Turns out, the person that was training Rey, and this quite surprised me as well, was Princess Leia. Yeah, Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher was in this movie. And she was training Rey to be a very capable Jedi. Like Luke did, training Rey up in The Last Jedi. But I don't know why Leia would train like Rey, but I just didn't really pay any attention to it at first. I was like, okay, she's training Rey, but she's not like as very big as a Jedi. But we find out later. Actually, I will get into it. We find out much later that she trained with Luke in a flashback scene, and it showed a CGI, cool CGI by the way, of young Mark Hamill and young Carrie Fisher doing Jedi training. When I think it was during. It must have been one of the deleted scenes from one of the movies from the 70s, 80s Jedi Star Wars movies. And yeah, they showed a CGI of their younger selves, and who won that Jedi battle? Princess Leia. Yep, Princess Leia won the Jedi battle. Going, yeah, strong women. It's like women power, you know, because you don't want men to have much more supremacy over women, especially in sci-fi films as well. So, yay, women, women power. Not that I'm against it. I was just like, oh, good job, Leia. Good job for putting Luke down to the floor and leaving him there. Just, yeah, being all the victor and all. So, yeah, they just had a training montage, and yeah, that was that. So I found that interesting. What next? Oh yeah, let's talk about what happened when Rey and C-3PO, R2-D2, Poe and Finn were on a place where all Ewoks were. There was like a place where Ewoks were, and they were in this like a festival for celebration and stuff like that. And after they were done, Rey then had to stop and look out because she senses a disturbance in the Force. A sense of disturbance in the Force. Yeah, that there was that someone was coming for her, and there were. Because, I'll get to that. But then, a few minutes later on, Finn or Poe, I can't remember who it was, Finn or Poe tells Chewbacca to go tell Rey that we have to leave. Chewbacca does that. But then Chewbacca gets captured by the First Order. He was in cuffs and all. Gets taken to the cargo ship, so that he can be held as prisoner. And Finn noticed that he was going to be taken away. Then move back to where Rey was, and she noticed that there was a TIE fighter coming straight towards Rey. And who was in that TIE fighter? Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren was coming straight at her, full speed, just like run her over or something. And I was like, why? Why do it? Because we all saw in the trailer before the movie came out that she would like eventually like jump over the TIE fighter and just do something majorly dramatic just to put Kylo Ren down, and that's what she did. She just went into this stance, lightsaber in hand, and then she just runs, and then just slow-mo, just backflips into an angle, and then just slice the wing part of the TIE fighter, and the TIE fighter goes down along with Kylo, and yeah. And then she noticed the ship. Finn then tells Rey, and of course we all know John Boyega with his famous Rey, Rey, Rey. That's most. It's like most of the majority of the films that John Boyega starred as Finn. You always hear him going Rey, 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 Rey. That's what I noticed. That's what I noticed throughout these three films. But yeah, he just says, Rey, Chewbacca's on that ship. You have to do something to get him down. So Rey uses the Force, just uses the Force to try and get the ship down. But then we see Kylo Ren not dead. I expected that he will not be dead. And he would fight back, because he went using the Force as well to send that ship away to the First Order, to the base, the command base, so that they can hold Chewbacca as prisoner, a very vital prisoner, just at the ship. And then they were like struggling to fight who was going to take over. And then Rey, all of a sudden, and this quite irritated me. This is where this part of the film really irritated me. And I thought, come on, no, get the hell out of here. Why? Why? So, both of them were struggling for the ship. And then, all of a sudden, Rey just shoots thunder, lightning out of her hands, like Emperor Palpatine, and that's an indication of what happens for what she is later on in the film. But she destroys that ship of supposedly where Chewbacca is, and I was like, no, you have got to be freaking kidding me. You cannot kill Chewbacca. You cannot kill Chewbacca. And I was like, oh my god, they really did this. They really did this. What have you done? What have you done? So, here's me going like, why? 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 But then we find out a few scenes later that Chewbacca actually does live, and I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God he lives. Yes. Yes. The Wookiee King. The Wookiee King has survived. The Wookiee King has survived. Yeah. So, I was relieved, mostly, but still pissed off that they would do something like that. But yeah, very much relieved. Then what happens? Oh yeah, we'll talk about Leia's death. Yes, she does. She does die in this movie. So, it all started when Rey went to the command base of the First Order. She was in the First Order command base along with Chewie, Poe, Finn, and a few others, and she got to this part of where she sees Darth Vader's mask, and then she picked up this this dagger. That's it, this dagger that had the descriptions on it, on this Jedi text on it, that C-3PO. Oh, C-3PO. Yes, C-3PO. That C-3PO can read, but it's some feeble Jedi text that he hasn't even descripted yet. But he can, but he needs, like, I don't know, I was a bit confused by that part. Anyways, you'll know better than me. That's if you have watched the movie. So, she sees the dagger, and then Kylo Ren does the Force, whatever these two have been doing, like Luke and Darth Vader. They've been telepathically communicating each other via the Force. And then Kylo said, "Where are you hiding?" And Rey Rey didn't tell him where she was, and what Kylo Ren had to do was then push her buttons to explain more about her parents, and this is where we first learn of what Rey is. But first, she gives an indication away of where she is when these two had a Force battle. I don't like during that part of the scene when those two were having a lightsaber battle with each other. I got so lost of how that works in a lightsaber duel with these two forcefully, telepathically communicating with each other via the Force. That led to Rey destroying the whole entire room. Well, not entirely destroyed, like all burns and ashes and stuff, but destroyed. And she gave it away when the Darth Vader mask, all burnt up and all crispy and stuff like that. Just both of them just like put the lightsabers on the stand, and then the Vader mask just dropped, and then Kylo Ren said, "So that's where you are," and that just gave an indication away. So I was like, "Well, your cover's been blown. You have to get away now." And yeah, so as soon as Kylo Ren gets back, Kylo Ren sees Rey, and Kylo Ren explains to Rey about her parents. And this was the big critical moment of what Rey is. So, Rey, as we know, in the last movie, that she was taken, and that her parents that her parents had to forge her as a scavenger or something like that. They just left her because they did it because of her safety, of course. This was the big moment because Kylo Ren explained to Rey that she is a Palpatine. Yes, Rey is the granddaughter of Emperor Palpatine. My mind was freaking blown. My mind was blown after that. Because I thought that Rey was going to be a Skywalker. But no, she's a Palpatine. She's a Palpatine. Her mother is a Palpatine. Her father, I don't think that he... Who was Rey's father again? Oh, I forgot what it was. I forgot. Yeah, so big blow of the moment there. So yeah, Rey is a Palpatine, and yeah, and then at the end of the movie, she goes off to face Emperor Palpatine, and Kylo Ren joins in a little later on as well. But yeah, explain. I was trying to explain about Leia's death, wasn't I? Just earlier on. So Leia died by calling out Ben's name when Rey and Kylo was having a lightsaber battle on this big ocean tide scene. And then, just as Leia was about to die in her deathbed, she calls out, Ben, Ben. Well, here's the thing. The lightsaber duel felt quite rusty. Actually, I will say, the lightsaber battles on most of the lightsaber duels was rusty, and I didn't quite felt really anticipated by him. But yeah, so yeah, she calls out Ben, and then just as she was about to die, and this is how she died. Rey then got a lightsaber and just put it towards Kylo Ren, and he died. And so did Leia. So yeah, that is how she dies. That is how she dies. By calling out Ben, and dies. By using the Force to call out for, yeah, his son. That's as his mother. Yeah. So yeah, Leia now dies, and Kylo Ren dies. Also, we fought because then Rey hears Leia, and then goes back towards Kylo Ren, and then uses her Force energy on her life to restore Kylo Ren back to full health. So I was like, okay, you born her back to life because you've heard Princess Leia's call. And I was like, okay, cool. And yeah, and then she went away. She got out of there and left Kylo Ren to drown in his emotions over Princess Leia's death. So. But then we also see Han Solo. Han Solo then came into the scene when he was trying to talk to Ben, and all that Kylo Ren said was, "You're not here. You're just a memory." And then Han Solo said, "Your memory." Yeah, and that led to then of Kylo Ren grabbing his lightsaber and then throwing it That's it. I think it was like convincing, like Kylo Ren then to you know better than this. Come and aid with Rey and fight against the Emperor, and yeah, that's what he did just by throwing his lightsaber in the ocean tide, and that was that. That was that. So, R.I.P. to Kylo Ren's lightsaber. 2015 to 2019. What else then? Oh yeah, Chewbacca. Chewbacca, after he heard the announcement of Princess Leia's death when they returned back to their base, he got word from one of the resistance people there that she said Leia didn't make it, and then Chewie just gave his most intensive emotion towards that death. He was like, now I can do it better, Chewbacca. Like that. So yeah, that was quite an that was quite an emotional moment for Chewbacca, because Chewbacca's been with Leia, Hans, Luke, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, so felt sorry for him. I felt sorry for him. Let's see. Oh yeah. Going back to when I mentioned about Rey taking down the TIE fighter. During one of the scene, we see Lando. Lando returns. And the actor that played against Lando did quite alright in this movie. Played a big part in the end though. Played a big part in the end of this space battle. And just as when Poe and the rest of the resistance was about to give up, because they had less of their fleet. They were depleting away. They were being destroyed by the First Order, and the First Order was going to win. But Poe was like, yeah, it's all over. I'm sorry. But then Lando, just out of nowhere, said, you got me, kid, or something like that. You got me. And this was, if you've ever seen the Avengers Endgame, it was exactly like that moment where Captain America recruits all of the superheroes, and then he says, when he grabs the shield, he said, Avengers, assemble. And yeah, that's what it felt like when Lando brought all his fleet of ships just to join in that battle against the First Order. And yeah, that was cool. That was a cool moment as well. I enjoyed that. Yeah, so Lando did quite alright. He did quite alright in this movie, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he returned and played a huge part at the end. What else? Oh yeah, C-3PO. He was going to have his memory erased. just so that they can have the description read on the dagger. But as he was being restored, his eyes was all red, going like, and then said like, something like that. I don't know what he said exactly, but it was like but yeah, that's what he said. And then just boom, came back down, then shot back up and went, "Hi, I am C-3PO of the droid. Who are you?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that was intense." But then eventually R2D2 gave his memory back. And I was like, "Yay, go R2D2, you're the best droid." Oh yeah. So after when I explained about Kylo Ren throwing his lightsaber and they're tied, Rey was about to do the same with her own lightsaber. So she was about to throw it onto this like fire pit of this TIE fighter, I think it was. And just when she was about to throw it, something like a force ghost, boom, just catches it. And I instantly said in my head, I said, "Yoda, is that Yoda?" And when this Force Ghost figure came out, I was like, "Oh, no, it wasn't." No, it isn't. It's Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker stops Rey throwing the lightsaber into that pit of fire from that TIE fighter. And Mark Hamill, I'll try and give an impression of his Joker impression. He said, "I'm afraid you can't throw that into the fire, my dear. You need this lightsaber to kill off Emperor Palpatine." That was the worst Joker impression of Mark Hamill. But yeah, that's what he said. Something like that. And yeah, he then showed Rey. And I was talking about Luke and Leia doing Jedi training. He showed Rey, I think it was Leia's lightsaber. So now she has hers and Leia's. Yeah, it wasn't Luke's, because Luke Skywalker's lightsaber got destroyed from the last movie. I believe. Yeah. So yeah, she now has hers and Leia's, which plays a part in the ending. And yeah, she then went to this place where Palpatine is and confronts him. What then happens? Okay, now we'll get into the ending of the movie. So, Rey meets Palpatine where she sees like there's lots of these hooded figures in the stands. I think they were like all Siths of the figments of the past or something like that, of all Siths or something like that. They were all like hooded figures in the seats, chanting like "hoo hee ha, hoo hee ha, hoo hee ha," or something like that. I think it was just to cheer Palpatine on as he was about to make his grand entrance. And that's what he did. He made his grand entrance by saying like, what did he say? Like, something like the girl is here, or something like that. I forgot what it was. My memory is horrible. Memory is horrible. So that's why I've made all these notes here of moments, not quotes. Yeah, she meets Palpatine, and Palpatine then tells Rey that she could take his place on the throne and become Mistress Palpatine, or Mistress Palpatine, something like that. But as we all know, that's not going to go down. So we see later, Kylo Ren joins in the scene. He slowly makes his way towards Rey, and when Palpatine says to Rey, "Strike me down, and you will be the next. You will be the next Empress to rule the throne," and all. So she grabs a lightsaber, and then she spots Kylo, just behind Kylo Ren, giving like all twinkles, staring at him. And then they both gave a nod to each other, like, okay, I agree with your plan. So what she does is hands one of the lightsabers towards Kylo, and then Kylo starts like fighting back against Palpatine's army and stuff. And then they both come together and both got their lightsabers and going towards Palpatine. And yeah, it was now 2v1. But then Palpatine, as the absolute main antagonist that he is, just sucked their I think he was sucking their force out of them so that he can attain them. And just when he was attaining them, his fingers then, because you see that his fingers were broken. His fingers were broken because of the like what Darth Vader did to him in Episode 6, when Darth Vader threw Palpatine into this reactor core at the ship. They were starting to grow back. They were starting to grow back one by one, and he then gains it out, and then they were just there on the floor, all limp, and they couldn't move. But then Kylo Ren gets up first, and then Palpatine says, what did he say? You won't be the last of the Sith, or something like that, and then just force pushes him out and into this hole. Like he was gone. He wasn't in the scene, so he was gone. And then, this is on my notes here, Rey then, his voices of like familiar voices of Jedis, past, present. We hear Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano made her voice, from the Clone Wars. Yes, Ahsoka Tano was in this. Qui-Gon Jinn. I think old Obi-Wan Kenobi as well. Han Solo, Princess Leia, Luke. Luke did the ending bit. And, yeah. All those that she got into her, she got up, and then, boom. Lightsaber at the ready. She was ready to fight. Once again. And, this is how she ended Palpatine. Palpatine said something, and then Rey said, "I am all of the Jedi." When when Palpatine did the lightning towards Rey, and then Rey said that line, and then just went both lightsabers, hers and Leia's, and then she went doof, 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 doof towards Palpatine, and then it just completely incinerates Palpatine's face and all of him, and he was gone. Rey has killed off Emperor Palpatine. And the Resistance have won the battle and reigned in this Star Wars battle. And then she gave her last energy of the Force, fell to the ground, and we see then a hand, and this is the thing that was funny when I saw Kylo Ren's hand on the edge of the cliff. When they showed his hand, I was like, Jesus! Like, it gave me a jump scare at one bit. So yeah, when he was like crawling, like crawling towards Rey, and he held her in her arms, and he was looking around, going, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? How do I help her? What do I do? What do I do? And this was like, oh god, this was like a friggin' Sleeping Beauty scene all over again. I mean, this is Disney and all, but come on, Jesus. This is what he did. He used his hand on her body to, like what she did with Kylo, to give his life back, not make any wounds or something. He gave her life back by using his Force, his last energy of the Force. And then, just as she wakes up, she says, "Ben." And then, and this was a little bit weird, but what these two did afterwards, they kissed. Yeah. Totally Disney-esque. Totally Disney-esque vibe from that point. Yep, these two kissed, and then Kylo Ren, Ben, just gave his life away, and he dies, and he goes with the Force, and then Leia goes with the Force as well. Oh yeah, there was an LGBTQ moment in the movie as well. Just as when the Resistance won, we see two women kiss as well. And I thought, okay, LGBTQ community representing. But I don't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing. I'll let you decide on that. But yeah, there was an LGBTQ moment in there. And then we got to the ending scene. The ending scene of the movie. So, Rey goes to Tatooine. And we see she's in this place of where Luke grew up in. Where he looks out into the sun And that's what she did at the very end of the movie. But before that, she buries 2 lightsabers of hers and Leia's, I do believe. Puts them on the ground with quicksand. Well, she did it by her own. She wanted to bury him by using the Force. And then she grabs out another lightsaber, and it was yellow. And I was like, "Who's this lightsaber's?" I was like, "Is this hers? Is this her new lightsaber? A yellow one?" It was like, who had a yellow lightsaber? Was it Qui-Gon? Or was it... No, I think it was still blue. But anyway, she had a yellow lightsaber. And then there was this woman. Then this woman said, "Who are you? Who are you?" And then Rey says, "Rey." And then she says, "Rey who?" And then she just looks out and sees Luke and Leia just like doing like doing this, and it was like, ah, shit, she's gonna say it, she's gonna say it, she's gonna say it, and then she did. She said, "Rey Skywalker," and then it ends with Rey looking out with BB-8. I think BB-8 was with her. Yeah, BB-8. They look out into the distance of the sun, like Luke did, and that was it. That was the movie. That was Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Okay, so I feel like they could have made this movie quite better if they didn't do it in this direction, but they did. I do feel like they could have done some things better with the story and how Leia dies by calling out Ben's name and stuff. But yeah, it just felt a bit forced, to be honest. It just felt a bit forced, and it's not the kind of direction that I wanted to go. But it was still a good episode story of a wholesome movie of on this and how it all planned out. But there were still some parts that could have been better. So yeah, overall for this movie, I will give it a 6 out of 10. Good movie, but still could have done better with this direction. But yeah, that is going to do it for my spoiler review for the last Star Wars episode of the saga. 42 years in the making. Wow, what a journey. And I, along with the rest of the Star Wars fans, will say to our children, our grandchildren, and say, "Hey kids, we witnessed the last Star Wars movie of the saga, and we went there to see it. And, yeah. Yeah, 6 out of 10. So yeah, that is going to do it for my spoiler review for episode 9. So if you have enjoyed my spoiler review for Star Wars, then make sure to hit the like button down below. And if you're new to my channel and want to check out more of my videos, then you can hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell for more update and content for when I upload my next video. My Twitter page is at elusival21, and my BitTube page is also called elusival. And yeah, if you have any comments, do not. Actually, yeah, put down comments. This is a spoiler review after all, so you can put down comments on what you thought about this movie. What did you think of it, and what was your favourite moments? Do you think the story could go a little better of this direction? Or was it right for you? But yeah, give any of your comments about this movie in the comment section below. And yes, that is going to do it. This has been going on for nearly about an hour now. And yeah, that is it. So, I will see you all in the next video. And may the Force be with you all. Goodbye.